right now, I think we are starting to see the beginning of the end of the iPhone. And no, I'm not just saying that for dramatic effect or for YouTube clickery. Can I tell you why I think so? We just got some brand new information on one of the iPhone 16's killer new features, the capture button, which is a feature or a thing that we have known about for some months now. Ever since iPhone 16 stuff started to leak, we've been hearing that the entire lineup from base model iPhone 16 up to the Pro units are all getting this capture button. What have we known about it? Well, that it's gonna capture something. But capture what? Pokemon? Small mammals? I don't know. Maybe some photo and video? Gonna go with the last one. Back in December, Bloomberg's Hobbit turned Apple analyst, Mark Gurman, confirmed just that the capture button is for video. Wow, so brave. I would have never guessed. Okay, great. You're all caught up. Perfect. Congratulations. You know what it's gonna capture, but we have some new information that tells us how the capture button is going to, capture. This information comes from The Information. Like, that's literally the name of the... Okay. Now, listen, I'm going to tell you right now, this website, The Information, incredible. We don't have to go over their whole track record. I will just tell you, these people basically not ever wrong. In fact, they were the first to actually show us Vision Pro years ago. So if anyone actually has The Information... it's The Information. Info, that's my nickname for them now, I just made that up, tells us that the capture button will actually be mechanical, not capacitive like all the leaks have been saying since forever. But they say it will still have the technology that makes it able to respond to pressure and different types of touch. For instance, Info tells us that users will be able to zoom in and out by swiping left or right on top of the capture button itself. It could also tell the camera to focus by pressing lightly, and actually start a recording by really giving the button to business and pressing it down with the force of God. As that sounds, as complicated as that sounds, we're still expecting the capture button to be across the whole lineup. iPhone 16, iPhone 16 Plus, iPhone 16 Pro, iPhone 16 Pro Max, Ultra, I don't know, which on all units will have this capture button placed below the lower lock-unlocky button on the right side, kinda where the weird little millimeter wave antenna is, which will be moved to the other side now. Okay, so first of all, other than just being another button for us to accidentally press, I actually think this is a good idea. I think this is cool. This is a single button that has like 4 functions. That's intense. That's like one more thing that it can do than my cat. And also, for the most part, it like works as you would expect it to work. It sounds like intuitive. You might have to tell a couple people, like my cat, but other people, I think you'll be able to figure it out. Now, okay, listen, you're all caught up with the button, what it does, how it does it, but this is where this video really starts, in my opinion. Because even though I like it, I think it's a cool idea, a cool concept, I really do think that this is the beginning of the end of the iPhone. I know that sounds crazy, so let me explain myself. I will explain myself from me to you after today's sponsor. I'm so sorry. Browsing the internet without a VPN is like using the bathroom without shutting the door.
Hey, what the f***?
And that would be weird, wouldn't it? That's why today's episode is sponsored by our friends over at NordVPN. NordVPN encrypts your connection, protecting you, your location, your IP address, and more. Listen, you don't need me to tell you what a VPN is, all right? You're a smart person. Let me just tell you why NordVPN is the best one. 6,000 servers worldwide, allowing you to have a secure, stable connection from anywhere. You can secure up to 6 devices at the same time, and listen, people, it's real fast like. Honestly, the thing that keeps me from turning on a VPN most of the time is that I will notice it. My speeds will decrease. But with NordVPN, I don't know what kind of witchcraft they got going on, but solid. Not only do I use NordVPN to stay safe while traveling, but I use it at home too, to access content typically not available in the US on streaming services. Movies, TV shows, there's so much out there that I wouldn't have access to without NordVPN. Get 4 months extra on a 2-year plan at nordvpn.com/frontpagetech. It's risk-free with Nord's 30-day money-back guarantee. And of course, a huge thanks to NordVPN for keeping me safe and sponsoring today's episode. All right, welcome back. You definitely watched all of that. Thank you so much. You definitely didn't let me down. Okay, let's talk about this capture button, but more importantly, why it's a thing at all and what this means moving forward. To understand this new button, let's take a quick look back at how and why Apple introduces new features into the iPhone. Every time something new gets announced, has been announced, we're talking Touch ID, 3D Touch, Miss You Boo, Live Photos, Face ID, the Notch, Dynamic Island, MagSafe, honestly, let's just say all of them. Apple introduces them to either give us new ways to interact with the iPhone or make the current way we interact better. They try to give us what they think is best for iPhone. So, if we can agree on that much, right, let's now take a look at the capture button and why it might be there at all. In order for us all to grasp this concept, class, we're all gonna need to think different. Because I think, and I could be wrong here, I think Apple is giving us the capture button on iPhone specifically and solely for Vision Pro. Hang on. For those of you unaware, one of Vision Pro's major features is something called spatial video. It's incredible, actually. It allows content you capture on your iPhone to have depth. And using Vision Pro, you're able to more vividly experience these videos. Now, in order for spatial video to work, your phone has to be in a horizontal position. It works with these two vertically placed cameras, which is why the iPhone 16, the base models, are going to move back to this sort of layout for the cameras. And using both of those cameras with the phone in a horizontal position, the lenses are situated in a way to create a slight parallax effect, thus creating the feeling of depth and science and stuff. It's neat, okay? The iPhone 16 lineup is getting its camera layout rearranged for spatial video and Vision Pro, and the iPhone 16 lineup is getting a whole new button for spatial video and Vision Pro. So to call spatial video for Apple an important new feature, that would be an understatement. And while that's all well and good, let's look at the current trends in things like social media, and really even Apple's own decisions before Vision Pro was announced. TikTok, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Stories, I don't know, Snapchat, whatever nonsense is on Facebook, vertical video and photo is king right now. This is all sort of just a side effect of the phone being this shape. We all hold our phone mostly in a vertical layout. That's why all of Apple's UI elements are also laid out vertically. So in a world like that, how do you almost train or condition your user base that, one, spatial video is an important feature and not buried in settings, like physically remind them that it's there? You're gonna put a button on the phone that teaches them to hold the phone the correct way, encourages them to record spatial video, smoothing a transition, you could say. This feels like one of, if not the first time, Apple is adding a new feature, let alone a new button, to the iPhone, not solely for the benefit of iPhone users, but instead to improve the experience on a completely separate product entirely. And to be honest, this is it. This is not unexpected. This is the natural progression of technology. To me, this marks the beginning of the end of iPhone, at least as Apple's focus. And no, I'm not just saying this for dramatic effect or like just as a clickbait YouTube title like you would see on, I don't know, Apple Circle or some other Apple-related clickbait YouTube channel. This is not that. I genuinely believe this. We did an entire video on Apple Watch and how Apple has been slowly but surely making iPhone into an accessory itself. How Apple has been nudging us into this direction. Consider this, okay? Apple Watch has been around for a very long time, going on 10 years. And iPhone has never received additional features or especially additional buttons to help improve any of the Apple Watch features. Okay, this next thing that I'm about to say, I have been saying for so long, so many years before Vision Pro was ever announced, okay? And that is, the future is not in our phones. Your iPhone isn't the future. Your Samsung Galaxy, whatever, is not the future. We can do crazy things with phones now. We can start folding them, right? We can add extremely crazy cameras on the back, make the displays even bigger, do all that. And all you're actually doing is just making the removal of the Band-Aid on this problem just a little bit slower. That's all you're doing. It's just a fad. It's helping us get through the fact that this is not the future. The future is in AR. VR is incredible. VR is so amazing, and we'll always have a place for VR. It's going to do incredible things on its own. But the future for us and humanity is somewhere in mixed reality. So saying that, the future is not in the iPhone. The future is somewhere in Vision Pro. The first iteration of Vision Pro is not that. But Apple is too successful with too many resources, too much money, and too much talent behind them for this project to not eventually click. The future is what Vision Pro eventually becomes in, say, 10 years. Whatever this product becomes, whatever this product line is going to look very different in 10 years. But the concept of mixed reality itself doesn't change. Mixed reality in some shape or form will be how we all live in 10 years. This is the first iPhone feature that is in place to effectively prepare us for that future. This button is going to be there to encourage us to record spatial video for the device that we will all own in 10 years, whatever that device ends up looking like. This feels like when they took away the headphone jack and then had to sell us an adapter to ease that transition. This button, the capture button, is that. It's an adapter to help us transition from the technology we know into a foreign concept most don't understand yet. Eventually, the iPhone will not be your main device. And this is just the start of that. This is the iPhone helping itself pass the torch to the next big thing. Whenever that next big thing is ready for us.